So what we have is a county council committed to a socialist dream of taxing people and controlling all the growth around here. We have spec buildings sitting empty, and yet they're going to spend more and more and more. Right now they got a $17 million bond. $3.8 million of it has been spent on this mega site.
Whatever purpose you need to be necessary and proper for your fellow slaves on this collective plantation.
Mr. Maddox, we won't use words like steal when we're a government body. Make a judgment call. Thank you very much. With that, we moved up. Enough Maddox. Mr. Maddox.
Kershaw County decided to go into the spec building business. As you can tell, 50,000 square foot of government spec building. KershawCounty.org. Now, what is the county doing in real estate? This is that economic development snafu, this boondoggle, this crazy idea that collectivist experts, bureaucrats out of the Council of Government can actually create jobs when they can't. There's no way, it's impossible. So central planners have planned this wonderful building, this big empty building. It's 50,000 square feet. They say they can expand it to 200,000 square feet. There's nothing here. Nobody's looking to rent it. We spend $145,000, $150,000 a year for a marketing team, economic development marketing team, who do nothing. Absolutely nothing. This is the biggest boondoggle since the swampland. What are we doing? These crooks, these central planning crooks, are robbing us blind for this utopian dream of an empty building. What jobs have they created in the last 3 to 5 years? Zero. Absolutely nothing. They say this is for the greater good. I call bullshit. Bullshit. This ain't for the greater good. This is robbing. This is for an agenda. This is for our Vision 2020. It wasn't my vision. Was it your vision? Was it your vision to have a mega building here sitting empty? They've got buildings all over the county and it's sitting empty. Who pays for them? We do. Was it your vision that we had all these empty buildings? I'm sure it wasn't. What are we doing? Where's all this money going? You know, for years and years, subdivisions have been moving into the watery area. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families have been moving in. Every one of them buying these new houses brings in more money into the county coffers. Yet, we don't see any new fire departments coming up or any of that. What are they spending their money on? They're spending their money on boondoggles, swampland, baseball parks like West Wateree, or the swampland down on the river, which you can only go on there on Saturdays. You see, this is a whole plan from the central planners at the Council of Government over in Sumter. That's 5 counties in here, and that's a central planner's utopian wet dream, where you can go get a grant from anybody. You can get a grant from the federal, from the state, and it's all tied to a little agenda called Agenda 21. That's what our Vision 2020 is all about. Is that your vision? Did you have anything to do with Vision 2020, where they rob us, constantly to pay for these empty buildings, to pay for these water parks, to pay for these green spaces. Everywhere you turn, government is out of control. What is the fundamental functions of government? Is it building these spec buildings? Is it building water parks and splash parks and swamp land and baseball parks and empty buildings? I don't think so. I don't think that that's what government was designed to do. Not in America. America, the fundamental function was to provide protection of rights, individual rights, not collective rights. This is what the council is working on, is collective rights. That's what Julian Burns, David Snodgrass, Tom and Al, the Three Stooges. That might be David, Tom, Al. Yeah. What's going on? Why are we like this? We're moving toward a socialist nation. Everybody knows it. You can feel it all around you. That's why you have welfare, Social Security. That's also why you have this big military complex. That's where Julian Burns came out of, the military complex. Did you know DOD can't track somewhere around $20 trillion? And this is where Julian Burns, the chairman of county council, comes from. He comes from that background of $800 hammers and $1,000 toilet seats. So what is his mentality? His mentality is government can fix everything. And we know it's not true. They're robbing us blind on this Vision 2020, this vision. Meanwhile, we're running paycheck to paycheck, maxing out our credit cards, going into debt. The nation's in debt, county's in debt, we're in debt. Where's it all end? Well, it's going to end with us in the poorhouse. It's time to stop these boondoggles. It's trying to batten down the hatches and get fiscally responsible. It's time to go back to the fundamental, foundational functions of government. We're quickly headed to the USSA, not the USA. Not the old USA where individual rights meant something. No, now the government checks itself. Supreme Court. Look at what they've done over the years. Look at what's legal now. Look at what our morality's gone completely because of politicians declaring what is a crime, what is right and wrong, what is moral, what is just, and then the whole time they've got a whole different set of rules for themselves. It's time for us to stand up and say something. They're gonna, this has become Slavelandia. What are we gonna do? It's time for us to speak out. If we don't speak now, there's going to be hell to pay. Because it's going to get to the point where people are going to begin to resist violently. The government's going to become violent. That's the only thing they can do. It's the only thing they have. They have a monopoly on violence. And so that's what they will do. Try not paying your property tax. After county council has passed a $29 tax, try not paying it and see what happens. Jeff Maddox. Till the next time.
Whatever purpose you need to be necessary and proper for your fellow slaves on this collective plantation.
Mr. Maddox, we won't use words like steal when we're a government body. With that, we move to the next item.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yeah.
I need a point of order for clarification.
Yes.
I don't enjoy being called a thief. I don't enjoy saying I steal. But I think the public has a right to get up here and speak before us and do it somewhat freely as long as they're not attacking individuals personally. Mr. DeVos,
Fellow slaves on this collective plantation.
Mr. Maddox, we won't use words like steal, maintain order, and form. Make a judgment call. Thank you very much. With that, we move up. Jeff Maddox. Mr. Maddox.
Please, Massa. Massa, please do not rob me anymore. Massa, please let me keep the fruits of my labor on your plantation. Massa, please.